Hey YouTube, Mark Kaufman here, and this is going to be a little bit of a different video, a little different of a setup here. I'm actually out on my balcony listening to some old tunes, and I thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to kind of set things straight and let you guys know what's happening. It's nothing bad, but I wanted to talk to you guys about the New Year's resolution my wife challenged me with. And I feel like this is something worthy of doing. And I was talking to a buddy of mine out on the balcony here about an idea of how I could keep this in check. So we were talking a little bit, and he said, well, that's a very good thing. I know you have a lot of knives, and this is just for entertainment. I mean, this isn't my most fidget-friendly knife, but it was something I had in my pocket, and just thought you guys would enjoy seeing this more than my face. So he proposed that a way to keep myself from buying another knife was to sit on the idea of buying that knife and then wait until tomorrow. If I still wanted that knife, to purchase it. And I said, well, I mean, there's no way. I can't in any way buy any more knives. I can't. Sorry about that. Just trying to switch up the tunes. Here we go. And I told him, look, there's no way I could possibly buy any more knives. My resolution given to me by my wife would be not to buy any knives for the new year. So he said, okay, well, why don't you try doing that and then just not buy it? And I'm like, that wouldn't work. That really wouldn't work. Just the way that was set up. And I said, well, hey, what if I did this? And this is what I want to talk to you guys about. And I feel like this could possibly help other guys that are wanting to buy knives all the time, and maybe their spouses aren't too crazy about that. What if, and this is what I'll be doing. So instead of buying that knife, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open a checking account. Okay? And what I'm going to do is when I see a knife I want to buy, okay, and I've set money aside, I'm treating it as if I'm going to buy this knife, okay? I've set money aside for that knife, okay? Let's say it's this Spyderco Spidey Chef, okay? It's about a $200 knife. I believe it's a $200 knife. Let's say I've set some money aside for this knife. But instead of buying this knife, I put that money into a savings account. And I say into the back of my head, you bought that knife. It's bought. You don't have the money in your debit, and you don't have it in your account anymore. It's been spent. But it's actually been put into a savings account. Okay? Now, what I would be doing is I would be putting the exact amount of money this knife is worth into that savings account. Change and everything, tax and everything, as if I bought it. Maybe not tax, but just everything, Oh, and 2 weeks roll by, and I'm wanting to buy, and I love Jersey Knife Guys abbreviation of them, but Roughies. I love that, Roughies, but Rough Rider knives, okay? But let's say I find 6 Roughies that I want to buy. I'm going to add up all the worth of those knives and then I'm going to move that money over to that savings account. This is going to be kind of the twist on this New Year's resolution for me. I am going to not buy a new knife for the entire year, but what I would have spent on new knives, I'm going to be putting into a savings account. So I still get that kind of satisfaction of, and I hate to say it, of spending that money, but it's going to be more of the satisfaction of, okay, that money is gone, and it would have gone to a new knife, but it's in a savings account. Okay? I'm going to do this for a year, and I think I'm going to be blown away by the end of the year on how much money I would have spent on knives. It's probably going to be quite a bit. I don't want any of you to think that I'm no longer going to be making videos. I have still plenty of knives. I've actually sold about 75% of my collection, and that was because I wasn't carrying the stuff I had, but it's also because my wife and I are wanting to get into a house. So I thought, well, I'll boost my savings a little bit by selling a few things. So I still have quite a few nice knives. I'm going to be doing videos on a few that you haven't seen. I have bought a few knives, but that was last year. And so it's just the fact that they haven't come in the post yet. So those videos are going to be coming. But I feel like this is going to work. I feel like this idea will work. And I'm going to be very upfront with you guys if I fail. But I'm also going to be very upfront with you guys if I'm continuing on with this New Year's resolution. And I'm definitely going to let you guys know how it's going. It's not going to be, this is not going to be a therapy session where I'm like, hey guys, I could have spent $200, but I didn't. I'm glad you guys know that now. Okay, see you later. No, it's not going to be anything like that. I'm just going to probably include a snippet in one of my videos and say, hey, look, I came close to buying this knife, but I ended up putting that into savings. I'm just going to mention the knife I wanted to buy, and that's it. So I will tell you this, though. It was 11:30 p.m. Whoop, get the fat in my finger in there, okay? 11:30 p.m. last night, which was the 31st of December, 2020. And I said, okay, if I'm going to do this, no more knives for 2021, I'm buying one more knife. I'm buying one more knife, and it's a knife that I've been very curious about. And this one has LC200N on it, but the knife that I bought was the Spyderco, basically the Delica version of their Salt series in H1 steel. And I really like the blade shape. It's very related to this shape, actually. Just cut this off and then shape it kind of like that with a very drop nose end here, even more dramatic than this. And I thought that was a very handsome knife. I've never had one of their Salt series. I want to add one to my collection. And I was very curious about the H1 steel. People say it doesn't keep an edge, but I've also heard that it can hold up even better than LC200N when you get past the burnt, sharpened end from the factory. I've also heard that it has retention similar to VG10, which for me, VG10 is definitely a steel that is very EDC friendly. H1 will never rust on you. And for me, I feel like that'll be the knife I carry the most because I don't want to worry about a knife in my pocket. So I was a little tricky, buying a knife literally 30 minutes before the year ended. But that's what I wanted to do. And that was going to be the thing that I did. So that knife is going to be coming in the mail. I have a few coming in the mail that I'll be doing videos on. But this year, I will be religiously trying this new New Year's resolution. Not buying any more knives, and whatever knife I wanted to buy and I had the money for, I'm putting that into a savings account or a checking account and putting that money away. So I'm still debating if at the end of the year I'm going to reveal how much money I would have spent. That can kind of set people off. And we all have different amounts of budget, for our knives. So I don't know if I'm going to do that. But I do know that I will be at least telling you guys what knife I would have bought versus a knife I didn't. So like, I'm not going to be buying knives, but like, there are knives where we're like, ooh, that looks like a knife we want to buy, but then we're like, but I'll never carry it. I'm primarily doing this for knives that I see and I'm like, I'm going to buy that. But instead of doing it, it'll go into a savings. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, is that your only New Year's resolution, Mark? I mean, that could be really hard, or some people may even be like, oh, that's an easy resolution. I've got only one knife. Whatever. Excuse me. So, no, this isn't the only resolution I have. Excuse me. I have two other resolutions. One is to walk 2 hours every day. I need to walk more. I won't say I'm fat, but I'm probably 30 pounds over the weight I should be. And I need to lose a little bit of weight, and I need to exercise more. But whenever I do get out of the house, I'm either carrying my baby or I'm walking the dogs. So, and that's just, and if I'm not doing that, I'm doing an errand. So that's one New Year's resolution, is to walk at least 2 hours every day. Okay? Then, and I mean, heck, when my wife and I went to Greece and Rome on our honeymoon, we walked almost 5 hours the whole day, almost 5-6 hours the entire day. I mean, it can be done. So there's that. That's one New Year's resolution. And then the other one is to work on my handwriting. Now, my handwriting is not bad. It's almost an abbreviation of print and cursive put together. But think about the framers of the United States and how they had very long, exaggerated strokes, whereas the lowercase letters were very concentrated. That's very, very close to how my handwriting is. But I want to actually improve it and learn correct cursive. So those are my two New Year's resolutions for myself. And then my wife added not to buy any more knives this year. So I'm going to respect my wife and try doing that. But also, I think what this is going to do is this will put me into better connection with the knives that I own, and at least get me to a point where I've actually sharpened all of my knives that I own and used them all, not abused them, but use them all in a way that I can say they're mine. Recently, I sharpened my CRKT Amicus, or Amicus. A few of you guys have corrected me on how to say it, and I still say it wrong. I just need to put it in a Google voice modulator and just see how it's pronounced. But I sharpened that up recently. That was the last knife I sharpened of 2020. And I felt like I owned that knife now. It didn't have the factory edge on it. And so I felt like I own this knife. This is my knife. And so I want that for every single knife I own. I want to sharpen every single one. I want to see them go dull. I want to do some tests. No abuse tests. I'm not going to be doing any of that with like a hammer or anything like that. I love my knives too much. But what I'm going to be doing is using my knives, giving feedback on my knives. And this isn't what my channel is going to be. This isn't all my channel is going to be. I'm still going to talk about the knives that I own, why I own them, why I like them. They sometimes turn into reviews, but that's not what I want. I wanted to talk about the knives that I have, why they're unique, why I like them, and just talk about stuff that I like to have. And if it turns into a review, so be it. It's turned into a review. So I thought you guys would enjoy hearing this challenge my wife brought to me, and the reason why I'm accepting it and how I'm going to accept it. And if you guys think this is a good idea, give me your feedback in the comments. I feel like this may even help some of us who may have over 300 knives. I know that I have now probably about 60 to 50 knives now. Probably about 70 or so now. And I think it may help some of us that have over 400, 300, 200 knives. And some of us haven't even touched some of them. Now, granted, some of those knives are collector's items. I get that. You want to collect an entire series. I get that. I understand that. But I feel that this may help some of y'all. And if you want to take this challenge with me, let me know in the comments. And open up a savings or a checking account, and whatever you would have spent on that knife, you just put that in that savings or checking account, and see how much money at the end of the year you would have spent on knives. It may blow your mind, or it may not. So, guys, just wanted to talk to y'all. This isn't my normal video, but I was out on the balcony and I thought to myself, you know what? This is a good time to talk about this, especially since it's the second day of the new year. Whew, can't believe it. So, guys, thank you so much for sitting with me. This one was a little longer than usual, but I feel like this would be a great thing for other people to strive for. I think it's going to be something very interesting to test my willpower and get me reacquainted with a few knives that I may not have carried a lot, or get me acquainted with the knives that I felt like I knew. And through doing this, I'm going to get to know a little better. So, guys, I'm at this point rambling and just kind of drifting off in thought, but I hope you guys have a great day. If you find this interesting, and I can't do that middle finger flick to save my life, if you found this interesting, let me know. And I'll let you guys know how this New Year's resolution is going. And I've already had the temptation of buying a few knives. So, I mean, this is going to be hard. But, yeah, the crow out there agrees with me. So, well, I think he's telling me to shut up. So I'll talk to you guys later. Hope you guys have a great day or a great night wherever you may be. Talk to you later.